is this? It is God's love.
So, with immense respect, I invite Shri P.H. Kurian, Principal Secretary of Industries and IT, Government of Kerala, for the address on stage. A round of applause for Program Chair of the Sabbath.
Friends, I will speak generally about the digital India minus the manufacturing part of it. Manufacturing part, I don't think this is the place to discuss. Now, when we say we want to move into digital. Digital means what is a digital society? I try to define what will be a digital society. One society which has become more digital, more than US, is Estonia. Estonia is a small country with 1.3 million population. There, the lot of the life has become digital. Now, India would take maybe a very long time to really become equal. It's a big country with a lot of socio-economic variations across the country, empowerment-wise people in different layers, and financial or economic standards. It takes a little more time. What we do as a program now would be to actually asset this process. These technological transformations are inevitable. It would happen. A best administration, what they can do is they can fasten that process. They can speed up that process. Internet technology, I don't have to talk, it's a leveler, everybody gets access and more easier than other technologies which has come right from Industrial Revolution onwards. Industrial Revolution, one of the great revolution was, let's say, motor vehicles, and it took how many decades? And even today, ordinary people cannot have own a motorcycle. So a revolution, a new technology came a century earlier, but it takes a long time. But this technology is a leveler. It reaches everybody much faster than any other revolution. Now, when we talk about World Economic Forum, now presented this fourth industrial revolution. That's going to happen in the world where what we have thought so far will not be the thing in coming 10-15 years. I happen to be a member of the World Economic Forum Council. So I get this paper much before it came out in public. I got it, let's say, read it in January. I got these papers around December. So that time itself, it would be very difficult to understand what they propounded as fourth industrial revolution. So when you visualize that thing, what we are seeing today will not be there. You will have Internet of Things, your life will be totally digital, and advanced countries will move much faster towards that fourth industrial revolution. Part of it will happen even in India. because we have Make in India, we have Digital India. These two will actually see to it that part of that fourth industrial revolution happens even in India. A lot of it might happen in Bangalore. That's what I expect. So it should also happen in Kochi, in my startup location. The fourth industrial revolution, some components will happen even in Kochi, or maybe in Chennai, maybe in NCR, maybe in Jharkhand, something like that. There are brains everywhere. We have so much of brains, and how to harness them is the country's thing. I have looked at this thing in the governance and then making this technology available to people. We face a lot of challenges. Kerala had the advantage in terms of connectivity. The advantage is the state is small, density of population is very high. There is no difference between urban and rural areas. There is population density is the same everywhere. For an internet operator, for a total service, for a telecom service provider, going into rural area is also meaningful because people live there, rich people live there, they would also take connectivity. That way we got, today we have 30,000 kilometers in this small state, 30,000 kilometers of OFC has been laid. The Bharat, the NOF and people who have done are sitting there rowing and nothing bothered them. We had to only lay 700 odd kilometers to make every panchayat with that OFC. So we did that last year. I think last January or something we announced it. The Minister Mr. Vishnu Prasad came and launched it in Trivandrum that we are the first one to connect that. We connected that. We had one remote tribal forest panchayat called Idamalakudi, which is 28 kilometers from the main, 28 kilometers in the forest. That also we connected through a wireless on that day. And thereafter, I think we laid OFC also now through the forest, and then that is also connected. That's a great fiat that we achieved a year and a half back. So we have become the top in terms of internet connectivity infrastructure. In terms of mobile subscription, now the 16th February trial report, Kerala has 40% of the population has net connection. That means the coverage could be around 60-65% of the population, including household if you take mobile internet and fixed line internet, broadband connectivity, both if you take. That's the type of coverage. But still we have the biggest issue in infrastructure is the telecom service providers, both for giving mobile and internet connectivity, they need to have towers. They are very sensitive to towers. Government of India, that's one issue which I really don't know. It's the biggest issue that everybody faces. But luckily, I think Delhi had a good advantage. Delhi High Court was very proactive. In Kerala High Court, people file a case, High Court call for record, they go on issuing orders, they will never dispose that case, and it is still pending. Delhi High Court did, Dwarka Resident Association, somebody went and filed a case saying that in our place mobile towers should not be there. That judge, I don't know his name, you could see this gentleman. He said, you file an affidavit that you will not use mobile, then I will take up this case. With that, the case ended. And in Delhi, the mobile service providers have done 2,000 towers in around 3-4 months' time. That is a big news. I wish that about thing happened in Kerala so that our people get the connectivity. It's a big issue. Everywhere people comes to the collector for discussion, saying that mobile towers should not be there, but they carry 3 phones with them, 3 mobile phones, and then they oppose, saying that is it. I tried my level best to convince people by writing in the newspapers, writing a very reputed oncologist from US, a Malayali guy. His article was published in the Malayalam and Urban newspapers and all that. Still we have a big issue. This is a thing which, but I saw, fortunately, in other countries, earlier I was in China. China creates all these by the side of the road. A lot of towers on the side of the road. Every for a kilometer apart, they have not this type of towers. They have a huge single pole type of thing, and on the top they have. Even in rural areas, they kept like that. I don't know. Here we have more people have given some guidelines saying that on NHS, how on the roadside they can do that. I hope that could be one solution wherever you have space on the product. That's a big challenge that I am facing in improving that connectivity. The second aspect is we must give this phone. We give all these mobiles, everything. That is what we spoke about the digital empowerment campaign. I'm only sharing some examples which others, you would have done a better thing elsewhere, you should share that. We are now planning that thing. We did a digital literacy, an e-literacy campaign from 2002 using what is now we call the Akshaya Center. Where the Akshaya Center was basically built up not to provide e-governance services. In 2002 we didn't have services at that time much. We just started that as a local computer center. And those days, I don't know, today, those days others would not think of Malappuram district with those days a population of around 4 million was fully put on wireless. All the centers were connected on wireless at that time. There was no OFC connection or anything. That was a great fiat. I mean, I went and received in 2005 an award in Austria, Golden Nick Award, for this Akshaya Center to give Wi-Fi connectivity. I am not public. Those centers from where the computer literacy was given. That was the purpose. The Austria Linz local government, the mayor was saying that now, I mean, those days, until 2005, he says, we were not talking about public Wi-Fi at that time. That they were saying that Wi-Fi, giving that information highway, is like any other highway. I consider it as my duty to provide roads. Similarly, I was considering my duty to provide internet highway free. I will tax people and give mobile connectivity to everybody free in an hour. We were sitting on that day. So those are the days I thought when we will be able to give connectivity either very cheap or free to citizens. We were unable to do even today. Everywhere we say Wi-Fi hotspot for half an hour or something you give. Essentially, we have not gone to the stage where, like a road that we are providing, government should build the road and give. Similarly, government give that highway. Wi-Fi connectivity free of cost to citizens. It is a possible thing. I still believe that one day we have to do it. And when we do that, it has to be, this technology is a leveler. You plan it such a way, you plan it inclusive. Now our effort of making this Empower campaign to make it effective. I thought 60% of people have access. But majority of them doesn't use what is possible with that internet, they don't use it. They don't use the e-government services straight away, they don't use it because we have not done it mobile. Or even through the broadband that they have at home, they don't avail the services. People still go to intermediary centers. Many of them have not. How many people in Kerala, I think everybody who has this as a bank account, many of them are not operating their bank account through internet because they are fear. They are fear that they get defrauded, they lose money and all that. So lack of confidence. So to an ordinary person, give the confidence to enter into internet and do transactions. So a digital society is a society where an individual citizen-to-citizen transaction will be fully done. These days people don't write letters, they will write SMS, but they can write a detailed message by an email. So in this process we will connect everybody will be given an email address, he will be told how to write a mail. And Kerala has advantage, they can use Malayalam or many of them can write English. People who are of the day may not be grammatically correct, but they will communicate. So empower those citizens. Full use of the internet. Today only the top 10 or 20% creamy layer or people who are using full use of the internet. We may be using internet for money transaction. Many of them who have the same access of technology with them don't have the mind to do it or they are afraid that they will be doing it. That is because we need to empower them. Kerala started what we call actually an IT at school also along with the Akshaya Center. School computer as a syllabus. We started in high schools in 2002. So it is now 14 years. So those who have passed out the school by that time, they are not only digitally literate, they are not illiterate, they are computer literate, they are able to do. Even an ordinary person will see whether he is a failure in 10th class or 12th class, he is capable of doing all that. The people beyond that, let's say 25 to 30, to economically active group of population, which is up to around 60-65. We want to take up the target group and empower them to use it. This will give, otherwise when you look at it, they become empowered. I mentioned in my brief speech there that the passion that I have is to make democracy in action using this technology. It's very, very important. It's very important that after the India become a republic, a citizen is able to get the services from government without bowing his head before someone. as a child means I was around 10 to 15 years onwards, making an application. Somebody says a courtesy. In a republic, you don't have to be courteous to somebody. You have a basic decency, all right. But when you write an application, why do you say that kindly, even the application itself, written application says, I would request you to kindly provide me with a certificate. This is affecting my prestige. Why should I say, give me a certificate is sufficient? There is a lot of difference between these two. Like morning I was saying, Gattagatu Moses, get out, you nonsense, Martha. Why should I? That change is very, very important. Transformation happens there. Transformation means not only in the physical level. Transformation that happens in the psychological level of citizens is very important. So the e-governance Digital India for me is a great leveler in the Indian society. Whether you belong to a scheduled caste or you belong to an upper caste or something doesn't matter. Non-discriminatory. When we did the e-distate, I put the first come first served system there. And AC guys must be sitting there. It ran for around 3 months. Suddenly a lot of complaints came saying that, mera kaam nahi hota hai, a lot of issues have come. Saying that, I am not getting, my certificate has been produced tomorrow, I have to get it immediately. And I was supposed to do some sort of privileges to the collector or somebody to take it out. But before that, the revenue department, because they are the one who is doing it, they changed it. They gave direction and then the first come first served was gone. For me, first come first served is Article 14 of the Constitution in action, where you treat people not equally but equitably. You don't discriminate between citizens. So that Article 14 can be put into effect by simply putting first come first served. I did this when I was Controller General of Patents, Trademarks and Geographical Indication in Mumbai, the Government of India. Where the e-governance was introduced, I put first come first served. There was no problem. These are all lawyers who actually interact with me. They initially created some problem. Those people who had connections used to jump the queue and get done. But later on, I think that system still continues. There also I got committed to this because this is where you have to treat people equally. As a person, secured by the Constitution, if you don't do that, you are behaving unconstitutionally. That is what my conviction to that. So, apart from all other benefits, for me, the transformation is at the level, psychological level of citizens. I was trying, even today I couldn't do this. I mean, a lot of things which in Kerala we go up to this. A few things only we to the reachable in the highest level. It is below that. Using Aadhaar. Using Aadhaar, you now distribute the scholarships to the SC/ST people. But even today we have a system that if you change a school, if you pass 10th to 12th to another school, you have to again go and get a caste certificate. And every time going to a caste certificate at the, let's say at the, when I change the school from 10th to 12th, a scheduled caste person going and telling the Tahsilar to, at that age, then like I get about few nonsense, that will say, go and come tomorrow, it affects him like anything. So I wanted that from the first standard, always Kerala gives lump sum scholarship or something they call it, lump sum grant from first standard itself. So everybody into the public education system, if he has recognized as a scheduled caste at the first standard, till he leaves the educational system, he need not produce a certificate and give. The system we wanted to introduce, but still now, that minister, I tried to convince him, their officials told, no, sir, somebody might actually change his, the only way a scheduled caste loses when he become a Christian. When he may become a Christian and then he may become scheduled caste. What is this? It's only a small money. Now out of 10 lakhs or something that we have, the students may be around 1 or 2 lakhs, 3 lakh students. One may become a Christian and lose his scheduled caste. And his scholarship money may be a few hundred. What is the amount of wastage that you do otherwise in government? Still they are not introduced. I have asked it for 2 years and trying. That is where the transformation power of this e-governance comes. I don't know, किसी के आगे सर झुकाना चाहिए. But go my head, I can get this done. Now, in that system, my scholarship, which is a right to me, will come to my bank account without my knowing anything. The only fact that I joined for a BA first year in a college. From there, it's an Aadhaar link, completely traceable thing. The money goes to his bank account from the main government account. Here, the money can go. That system is still possible, but we use part of it. We still send the money. but there is a sanction process behind this. There is a certificate requirement when you change the thing. Involvement of that college principal is there. Involvement of the SCST district level officer is still there. This all can be avoided. So why in India we don't think about that final solution? Then next one, I am only talking how many people you have done that is interoperability of the systems, the applications, and then make as a consequence on one change, rest of the consequence automatically follows. That is the thing which I am still dreaming. Well, I've done a lot of things, but I am saying is a that level. The next possibility what we need to do is highly interoperable thing. You get every service or a series from the other office without you specifically asking for it. I mean, you might pay money or something, rest of the things the system will do. If you buy a property, the changes will, the sub-registrar's office will register, rest of the consequence will follow. He can get it, his records will change in the revenue. If it is a house, the electricity fellows will give his connection transferred into his name, the water connection can get transferred into name. Today we have to go with a bunch of purpose to each of the office after that. That can be changed. I mean, similarly, n number of interoperable applications we can make. We have not gone to that level. We still say that, okay, every bureaucracy want to retain their goal. If I want to give electricity connection, you have to come and meet me. If I want to give water connection, water engineer have to, you have to approach it. The e-governance or digital Kerala has not, original India or digital Kerala has not reached to that level. So what each one of you have to think is, possibilities technologically is a thing, bring as fast as possible to the citizen. We have done great, but not great enough. We have not reached the final goal. This is I as a person is very rusty because we are not able to reach there. Because the passion is to see that citizen has get all the services. So a digital society or a pure digital thing would come when we can do as much as possible. So much of possibilities are still there and not costly. It's only a will that we need to have. Political will is very important to do this. If strong political people would that this is my goal and we have reached there in no time, technology is not a big rider in it. Money is not a big rider. It's all, you have to say that the loss of power in the hands of bureaucracy and political personalities. They enjoy a lot of power. As a bureaucrat, I enjoy a lot of power. Why should I enjoy a lot of power when I am a servant? We call servant and then we enjoy power. These two won't go together. I exercise power in pursuance of the service is fine. As a district collector, I enjoyed power. I have the power to lathi charge. Situation demands I should use that. But that is for that situation. I can, as a district collector or a sub-collector or something, I can order lathi charge, I can order firing. The situation requires that I exercise a power. The rest of the time, I need to have that type of power. So, the bureaucracy also has to be transformed along this. Transformation is happening, but not enough. Still not enough. Still not enough. That's a way, from an overall point of view, I demand. The nitty-gritties below are there, issues which are there, but overall, it is possible to achieve that level. Our goal is there, and then I found that there are so many things. The moment let's say, this demand comes from below. Why I go for this digital empowerment is to create the demand from below. There are many people, the ordinary people, still know that it is possible. When you make them digitally empowered, they know that it is possible. They are able to achieve this thing. Why actually we still create more and more intermediaries is my question. This is 21st century, technology has no limits. Why do we think in the old way? This is the few, on a theoretical side, or I would say what philosophical side I want to speak, or a governance side I want to general thing. E-governance, I always say that 90% is governance and 10% is technology. If your area of governance is very good, then e-governance application will be very good. Many e-governance applications as well today also has not used all the technological possibilities. We have not done the government process re-engineering enough. If you have this passion, your re-engineering will be totally different. We not jumped levels. Because we have created already a level of bureaucracy, the system passes through all of them. It is not required. Because who creates this thing? Who gives the SRS? SRS is owned by the same bureaucracy. They'll say, "Mere paas aana hai, mere paas bhi jana hai," aisa jana hai. But it is not required technically. Now, who will call the shot at saying that let us level the gems? That is the job of the federal department of people who are sitting here saying that we can do. This is not required. And then sometimes some people, they want to become excesses and they will lose the job. Kapana relevance we keep on. Kapana how much comes with it. More work they can do. So going through this. So this is when you speak about governance, there is no end. I can speak to any amount of time. There are a lot of things. So I just wanted to give this basic background. What Kerala thinks, what in the IT department we thinks like this, and it is possible to do. One by one we go there. All the possibilities we are not able to achieve, but I am sure that we will achieve. Especially the situation in every case, for example, Maharashtra has jumped too much ahead into the registration. They want very much registration. Karnataka, the land records have gone. Karnataka land records have gone, but then the difference is land record is correct. But if you leave the land for a year, next time when you go, the land will be in somebody else's custody in Bangalore. I got a number of cases. Made records ready, the party they use. So the governance ultimate thing is not only these records of this. Governance quality depends on many things. You make the land records in 5 minutes, you got into your name. After a year when you go, the land is grabbed by somebody. Then what is your satisfaction? So governance is not only one thing. It's a totality of all the things. The citizen satisfaction is a totality of many things. But each one of us in our sphere, what we can do best, we can do best. So the rest of the things is it's a collective thing. So that is what I want to say. I would I hope that issues of this sort will come up again and again in different presentations here. So I thought I would just set a tone of this sort. Thank you very much.
Any questions to Mr. Kurian? Okay, we have a question from Mr. Garudia from Comsur. Sir, you also please introduce yourself and then ask the question.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gautam Goradia. We're one of the sponsors of this event. And sir, excellent talk. You might not be there when I'm delivering my talk in the afternoon, so I just wanted to raise one issue, and that issue was about how e-governance or digital technology can be used and should be used for two reasons. One is enhancing the safety and security of our people, and how we can contribute towards community policing using all this surveillance that we have got around us. Unfortunately, we all believe that by adding cameras, our problems are going to get solved. Now, world over, that has not happened. Because unless somebody looks into those cameras, you will never discover. We only act when we hear of something. But because you have not discovered, it doesn't mean that nothing has happened. So we have a philosophy that like everything is audited from the CAG to within organizations, video CCTV must be audited as a standard operating procedure. This is our philosophy, and I would like to gain your thoughts on this. And there is technology, very cost-effective technology that's available today that can make it possible. Thank you.
Yeah, you are very right. There is an evolution to this. Camera by itself cannot give you all alerts. Unless you see this, there are people who put camera everywhere. The number of cameras installed is going to increase. Even places like Dubai or something, we go everything. And they have a huge center. I understand their center where this is watched. Dubai municipality has funded it, and it's a huge thing where Pacific Controls or some company is actually watching the whole thing. It's true. But I also think that somebody is looking at sort of data analysis techniques where doubtful things are identified by the movement difference and then given an alert, so that you don't have to watch fully, and where something doubtful things comes, then you get a relook at that thing and then you can target the thing that somebody must be working on, and you know that type of solutions might come in. That is what I think. You may be doing that thing, some people may be doing that, so you don't have to watch the whole city every time. Where there is a doubtful thing, majority of them will come as an alert or something like that. That is the solution. So security enhancing, these are not the only thing. Community policing is a much bigger subject, and bringing the citizen to the place where any doubtful things comes not necessarily to this thing. There are outside how big developed and good number of enlightened citizens are members of that thing, and they give alert to the police. So technology is very much there, and good police officers, many of them have developed this community policing. I think in my state, some of them are done very well in doing this. It's possible.
Any more question?
Good morning, sir. I'm Arun Alex from Asian School of Business, Trivandrum. You have mentioned about e-governance applications, wide variety of e-governance application, but I feel the major hindrance in people accepting, which prevents people from accepting this application, is the usability aspects of the application may not be that great compared to, let's say, private application by private individuals. So I would like to know the initiatives that the government is taking to improve the usability side of e-governance web as well as mobile application.
Yeah, I agree with you. I personally feel so. I've experienced. I have, let's say, the NIC people are sitting here. NIC anybody there, Mondas? There's some people are sitting here. NIC has created our mail system from Government of India. This thing. Now you just have to find out what the private mail system and the government mail system, the user friendliness in this. Most of we also use the private mail. I use Gmail and the government mail system. I don't know actually. The moment when government thinks about things, the government is different and there are so many restrictions or something comes. It is a feeling of the the bureaucracy. Now, private fellow is a businessman. He wants to capture as much business as possible. He would like any one of his customer to get bored on this and then change the system to something else. Government definitely, this is what I am saying, the net will slowly change the governmental thinking. Singing is like this. We feel that we are a monopoly. You want to do this, you do it. You take or get lost type of a thinking. This will slowly change. I mean, the digital arena is the one in which these changes are going to happen. Because that is a monopoly again. Again, government is a monopoly. The private is not a monopoly. The moment private is a monopoly, he also behaves the same way. Wherever private monopolies are there, they are human problem. Wherever you see improvement is where private competition is there. Governmental services are, most of the sovereign services are monopolies. Now there, the things have to change. You need a different culture, different commitment, and that will come over a period of time. This now has an advantage from compared to our physical paper thing is that people feel it and they will now express it very fast. Didn't I tell you that what I said is demand from below is not coming. There is no demand. I haven't got a public demand to give Wi-Fi. It does not come like people are demanding cheaper electricity. Okay? That type of subject it does not come. It comes when we empower people, when they feel the use of it. Electricity is used everybody, no. So they say give me cheap electricity, give electricity everywhere, give electricity 24 hours is a demand which is there. Now this is a new area where citizen has not yet fully understood the benefit of this. That is why in Kerala we thought that we will go and make them aware of the benefit of this so that demand will come from below. A thing which demand, we are a democracy. We react only when demand comes from below. A political personality understands a thing generally not from, unless it comes from as a demand from people. My solution is to work from below, to empower them, so that this will be faster. There is a need, I agree, that almost all these applications. One of the things we said is, they also know that, the different scrutiny. Now, say motor vehicle. Motor vehicle, I mean, the transformation that is going to happen is, many government offices become a BPO. They are only a BPO in fact today. When this comes, a lot of people don't have to run around that place. Motor vehicle department, why should people run around? Their only interaction physically required is a driving test or a vehicle safety test. These are only two people the officers needs to interact with people. Rest of things they don't need to see the person. Today our system is something like that. But still they create such a situation that the person has to reach there. Is everyone kind of thing? It will, from one by one it changes. So RTO office, the moment I want to see the RTO office as a BPO. Many of the government services offices are a BPO. In private sector we call it a BPO. In government we don't call it as a BPO. BPO is a place where you sit there and do business for work for elsewhere. Same way it has to think. The government wants all the people have to come to their office. The officers want the people have to sit. I always see there is somebody has created an annual renewal of a license. It's again same mentality. Renewal annually. In one law somewhere in 80s, some British time it was written. There are in every law, if there is a license, there is a word. The license has to be renewed every year. It is there in every law. What is the fundamental? I don't understand. We only repeat. Now a license can be perpetual because license has a condition that if any of the conditions are violated, they will cancel it. Then why there will be a renewal of a license? Each one of you think of. I have been arguing this for many things, even ease of doing business thing with cabinet secretary when we have the video conferencing. I used to say that why can't we remove one by one word? Every law is changed and then saying that licenses are perpetual. If any condition is violated, they are cancelable. You don't have to pay. If you want to fee, take as much money in the beginning itself, or maybe take in 5 years a fee. If the fee is not paid, it is automatically, these are all electronically, and if fee is not there, it is automatically gone. Not like the other way. But still for renewal we have to go. Even if it is an e-governance application, you have to make one click, go and get it done. So transformational governance is very much possible today when you have to also have that mindset change. Licenses are perpetual. When I try to do this in the municipality corporation, they give the state license for doing business. Oh, they say, you see the agreement is, the rental agreement for this shop owner is only for 11 months. So how can you give a license for more? I said, what nonsense is this? You are giving a license to that particular location. The moment his location is removed after 11 months, the license is not valid anyway. If he is going to another place, he has to get another license. So why can't we give a license as a perpetual license? As long as he is there, license is perpetual. If the landlord has thrown him out, his license is invalid anyway. These type of thinking has not really come. Just because somebody wrote in the law, this license is annually to renew. The municipal commissioner is there, he is still doing this every 1 year. If it is a fee, you have an electronic system. If the fee is not paid, your license is cancelled. Right? Automatically cancelled, there is nothing else. But where we have a thing, oh, I was in hospital. This is India's problem. That last day I was about to, this is the type of question comes in the court. The last day, I wanted to pay on the last day, unfortunately I was in the hospital on that day. Reasons beyond my control. Then don't cancel my thing. So that, then you see our law, everywhere there is a cushion given. That cushion people have done it very ingeniously in these states, not all days. You say if you want to renew the license, 1 month pile karo, no problem. Another 1 month you can do with the additional 20%. Yeah? Why is that the thing? If that people is serious about business, on one side people are saying ease of business, let me and all that. The businessman is not serious on his business. Then what business is he doing? That nobody is thinking. So we are actually, a constitutional system is such that we give a long rope. It is required. Rope to hang, that is the thing. So there are so many transformations required in this country. Our Prime Minister Mr. Modi says about transformation, digital India, make in India, and that is a good thing. Along with that, this type of thinking will happen. So there are the things you cannot do by dictats in this country. You cannot do by dictats, but you will have to build up. So I am thinking that this is a good build-up. A lot of things will change. I think I said enough.
I just wanted to ask one question. So we were still at the stage of digital literacy, and you are on the stage of digital empowerment. So it's a very good thing that citizens are being made aware to use more and more of internet. One of the reasons what I see in government is many of our own people don't feel very comfortable with the technology in government, and therefore many a times they ask people to come and face to face. They are very comfortable historically and.
That's a cultural part.
So, in fact, what I feel, if the Kerala government is really getting into empowerment of the citizens, on the other hand, don't you feel within the government also we require huge effort to make people use more and more technology? And I don't know how it can be done, although we have given all facilities, incentives, etc. How can this campaign also be started so that people working in the government also use not just internet, all kinds of technology which makes their job easier, also makes people very comfortable to deal with the government.
You're very sure the transformation has not happened. I think I have used that word, that thing earlier, that the required transformation has not happened in government, right from political executive to the bureaucratic executive down the line. That commitment has not yet come through. It takes some time. But again, we have to say ours is a democracy. We should show the way. Now let's say we have introduced e-office in the secretariat. We have 42 departments. Now I think around 40 departments, or 42 has done. Again varying degree. My IT department, I have the old files of a few still physical. Rest of the thing is only electronic. My health department or something is very good. Higher education is very good. All the new files they are going with it. Somewhere people are still low. Now, you know what I am doing? I am now going and working with the lowest fellow who is digitizing. The papers which are coming digitizing. The other day, I spent 45 minutes talking to them, transforming them about the need of this. The people who are office superintendents, where the secretariat papers comes, we have to digitize so that a digital file starts. So we have to also, not from above, start from below. So I use that also, that's the only way. People at the lowest level always work and transform them. E-office is still a mixed success. I have not achieved fully. Maybe another 1 or 2 years we will achieve fully that everybody will get convinced. Human nature is such that. I am not as technology savvy as I only talk this much. I am not as I am an old man. My younger fellow is I think maybe 10 times more technology savvy than me. I am more on the philosophy. I don't use all this technology myself. So he is doing. When we see this new generation comes, it is also a generational problem. It's also generational. It takes time. It will work. It will work.